Hi, this is George Argo with Argo Electrical Services, and I am the surge protector guy. So, this is our first podcast, and welcome. Glad you're here. Hopefully, we can add some value to your listening pleasure, and yeah, maybe it's something that's pertinent and it relates to you. So, the name of today's podcast is Four Reasons to Upgrade Your Residential Panel. First and foremost, electrical upgrades in your interior electrical panel provide safety. When you change this panel out, you'll have to get an inspection done, more than likely. First and foremost, you want to have the inspection. That way, you've got documentation through the authority having jurisdiction. The documentation, one, is going to add value to your home when you get ready to sell it because they're going to have a public record that the work was performed by a licensed, trained, and professional individual. Two, as far as safety is concerned, the new breakers, you'll be required to install arc fault, ground fault, circuit interrupter breakers on all your single pole branch circuits. You'll no longer have to change out ground fault circuit interrupters on the outside of the home, in the kitchen, or in the bathroom. The breaker and the protection will be in the panel. The arc fault breakers protect all the living areas of the home. And that includes the den, the dining room, all the bedrooms, basically any space that a branch circuit goes to that's single pole is required. Now they also have passed in 2020, I believe, they passed requirement that even the 220 circuits that are below 60 amps, a 60 amp rating, are required to have ground fault protection as well, like your air conditioning condensing units, your water heater, your maybe you have a well pump at your property. All the authorities are not following that. Generally speaking, the National Electrical Code moves faster, and I know in one of the counties that I do most of my work, which is Hall County, covers Gainesville, Georgia. They're still operating off the 2014 code cycle. However, this is a requirement, and as long as the stuff's wired up correctly, yes, the breakers are more expensive, but you get much more protection through those breakers. All right, so the second reason to upgrade your residential interior panel is because this upgrade will make your panel more efficient. First and foremost, when you do this upgrade, you'll also more than likely, just depending on how old your home is, you'll be required to change the feeder wire that comes from your service entrance or your meter base into that panel. And what I'm getting at is for years and years and years, from before I was born up until, around 2000, the electrician would bring a 3-wire set coming from the meter socket into the interior panel. Would be like if you had a 200 amp panel, be 2 4-aught conductors and a 2-aught grounded conductor. And so anyway, now you want the 2 4-aught hot legs. Basically, you want a 4-aught grounding line or the neutral wire, and then you'll also have the 2-aught bare aluminum. Okay, and so it's basically it's not exactly this, but it's basically giving you more ground. The new breakers along with this new wiring set gives those breakers the opportunity, the availability to be able to index the load on those wires and monitor them. Okay. And so the whole point of point number two, more efficient, your air conditioners, your water heater, your refrigerator, those are all high ticket items anymore. I just replaced a water heater the other day and did the work completely myself, and I still had $875 for, a 50-gallon water heater. And didn't have to change the breaker. All I did was, disconnect from the water lines, drain the old one out, and roll the new one in there. And it was like, $842 or whatever. And then I had to get some fittings and, some threading, what they call pipe dope. And but anyway, it came out to about $875 time we were all said and done. A new refrigerator might go up to $2,000, but depending on how nice a refrigerator you have. The washing machine, the dryer, they all have electronic boards. The HVAC units all have electronic boards. These new panels will help the new breakers to be able to monitor them. One of the requirements now in the 2023 load calculation says that, we shall protect the premises with a whole house surge protector. Now, I've been installing surge protectors now for about 10 years, and by a whole house instead of the surge protector just being plugged into the receptacle in your office or in a bedroom, wherever you might have a desktop computer or TV or whatever, and you have a strip with a, little surge protector. These guys actually plug in either at the meter base or into the main panel. And, it protects your property from transient voltage. Transient voltage is unwanted voltage. Maybe it could come from a lightning strike. It might come from dirty power from the power company. But in any event, if you have those things, there's kind of like a capacitor or something in there, and you get too much voltage in there, and that thing sucks it up like a sponge, and it'll burn out that capacitor, but it doesn't go into the home. It's not going to blow up the HVAC unit. It's not going to burn up your washer or dryer. My wife's got a washing machine that plays a little tune for you when it's done, and of course I'm happy because she doesn't make me wash the clothes. Boom, boom. That's my sad attempt at a joke. But anyway, so the third reason to upgrade your residential panel, it's going to make the system more efficient, and ultimately at some point it's probably going to save you some on your energy bill. The new heat and air units, the new water heaters, especially if you have tankless water heaters, the new system's going to be more responsive. And it's just like losing 20 pounds and being able to jog a little bit better and your heart rate being a little bit better. It's the same thing with these electrical panels. It's just like putting a new air filter on your car, changing the oil and all that. The motor's just going to perform better. So the third reason is to upgrade your residential panel. You will now be code compliant. Okay. And by being code compliant, if you're going to sell your home and, maybe you hit the lottery and you're going to move to Florida or move to Las Vegas, or maybe you're just going to upgrade and buy a newer home, or, maybe you're getting older and you want a smaller home. The kids are gone, maybe you're an empty nester, but, the code compliance will make your home more valuable, because more than likely when you get ready to sell your home, your new buyer is going to request an inspection to be performed on the property. And, if you got a brand new panel with arc fault, ground fault breakers, you've got a whole house surge protector, and all this work is documented through the authority having jurisdiction in your geographical area that you live, If you spend $5,000 on these upgrades or similar upgrades, it'll be worth $10,000 when you get ready to sell. And when I say $10,000, I'm talking about on top of what you're asking. So anyway, and the final reason that I've listed to upgrade your residential panel, your interior electrical panel, is because of peace of mind. Can you really put a dollar mark on peace of mind, being able to sleep well at night? Our trade is basically three reasons that people call us at Argo Electrical Services. They've either, something's not working, they've had some kind of an emergency, or the husband or the wife has made, a conscious decision that they want to do a remodel. And, we're not like heating and air guys. The heating and air industry, you need to, my heating and air guru that I lean on for information and direction, he tells me every time I get a power bill, I need to be changing the air filter. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit much, but when I start doing it every other month, I tend to stretch it out to 3 or 4 months. And then I notice the filters are much nastier, but at the end of the day, the peace of mind that you're going to gain is just by knowing that you've got these delicate breakers that work much better. It's much more improved than, the equipment that was available on the market 30 years ago, if your home is that old. And we do recommend if the home is over 20, 25 years old, kind of a little rainy day fund just for that. And, it's kind of like people talk about, your computer crashing. It's not a question of if it's going to happen, it's when. And, you can never have too good of an operating system when it comes to electrical parts. Like say, the ability for these new breakers to be able to sense a problem in the circuit and trip, and to give you knowledge thereof. It really has been a game changer. So anyway, just to, go back through what we talked about. So once again, this podcast was 4 reasons to upgrade your residential interior electrical panel. 1 was for safety. 2, the new panel will be much more efficient than one that's 30 or 40 years old. 3, you would now be code compliant, which adds value to your home. And of course, with it being inspected and everything, the documentation, as a homeowner, it covers you, because if there was a catastrophe or whatever, and, you didn't have it documented, the insurance company would never pay a nickel. And the final reason to upgrade your interior electrical residential panels is peace of mind. Can you really put a price tag on peace of mind and being able to sleep well? So anyway, once again, my name is George Argo with Argo Electrical Services. I am the surge protector guy. You can find us at argoelectrical.com. You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram. We're working on building out our YouTube channel even more. We're going to turn this podcast topic into a video as well. So check that out on YouTube, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.